next story in the book is called I Will Help You. This is my book, Tell Me a Story, 36 stories and 36 illustrations. This is the painting I did to illustrate the story. And the story is called I Will Help You. And it makes me think much about the immigrants coming to this country and their desire to become Americans. This is the story. I will help you. It was rush hour on the New York subway system. There were so many people crushed together, all of whom seemed to be waiting for the next train trying to get home from work. I was standing in the middle of all the people on one of the busiest stations, 42nd Street and Times Square. I thought if I could jump up, I could be held there by the crush and no need to stand on my own feet. I was 17 years old and had just moved out of my parents' home. I was living in East Village, Greenwich Village, and was on my way home from my job painting buttons. I got the work because I was an art student. I was earning $15 a week, and I was living with Ruthie Goldenberg, an art student who had come to New York from Chicago. Ruthie didn't have any family living in New York. Our walk-up cold water tenement apartment cost us $9 a month. As I stood there waiting for the next train, I heard a creaky little voice crying, "Will anyone help me?" I looked around. Through the crowd, I could just see a little old woman, all dressed in black dress, black shawl across her shoulders, and black babishka around her head that was tied under her chin. Poor thing, I thought. I bet she's lost. She reminds me of my grandmother who died when I was very little. I pushed my way through the people and finally got to her. I put my hand on her shoulder and said, "Don't worry, I will help you. Just tell me what you need." Again, she screamed, louder, "Will anyone help me?" I patted her on the shoulder and said again, "Don't worry, I will help you. Just tell me what you need." Again she screamed, "Will anyone help me?" That was when I realized I was speaking English to her and she was crying in Yiddish. I understood her, but she did not understand me. My parents always spoke Yiddish to me, and because they wanted me to become a good American. They expected me to answer in English. I never spoke Yiddish. Now here was this poor lady, hysterical because she was speaking one language and I was answering in another. I realized then that I had buried in my brain all the Yiddish words I needed to help her. So I started over again, thinking word by word. Ich will dir helfen. Was darf dir wissen? I will help you. What do you need to know? She actually understood me and told me what station she needed to reach. I directed her to the right spot to wait and told her goodbye. I felt like a good Samaritan and also a little foolish. I loved Yiddish and I wish I had learned to speak it, but I'm grateful that I understood it and enjoyed that beautiful sound of the language. This is the little old lady.